Hi, 8th graders. I had a question about number 8 on choice board number 2. So I thought I would make an example similar to number 8 on your choice board to explain how to do it. This is a great question because it talks to you about slope, which is rate of change, which you all know is a big idea for 8th grade math because it's also a big idea for algebra next year. All of these choice boards that we are making for you, the questions were chosen because they're going to be really helpful to you next year too. So I have created, again, this is not the answer to number 8. This is a different problem if you compare, but I did choose function A as a table and function B is an equation like they do for number 8. So they asked you to tell which slope was greater, and then you had to choose one of the two statements. Either function A has a greater slope or function B has a greater slope, and just stating that alone is not going to be good enough. You need to make sure you're showing us your work when you write it down and take a picture and send it to us. So I created this table and this equation, and so let's talk about that. First of all, on function B, this is written in slope-intercept form, so remember the slope is the coefficient of x. It's the number in front of x. So for this one, the slope or rate of change would be 5. That one was pretty easy to just see and be done with. Function A, though, has some work to do before you can find the slope. So if you look below what I bubbled in, these are all different ways to say the same thing. I could also include in there rate of change. Slope, which is represented by the letter M, is the rate of change, which is the same as the change in the y over the change in the x. So the change in the y values over the change in the x values, which is the same as using that slope formula that we practiced a lot this year. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So up in the table, if you use the slope formula, you can choose any 2 points that you want to. So since you get to choose any 2 points you want to, if you don't want to use the one with a negative, you can just choose the other 2 coordinate points. Okay, so 3, 0, 6, 6. And then you have to assign them a coordinate point is always x, y. So you have to assign them x1, y1, x2, y2. So one of the coordinates are the 1s and the other coordinate are the 2s. And then you just go ahead and go plug in those numbers into the slope formula. Okay, so for mine, I would have y2 minus y1 would be 6 minus 0. And then x2 minus x1 would be 6 minus 3. And then you actually have to just do that subtraction and write down your differences here. So I ended up with 6 over 3. So 6 divided by 3, that can be simplified to just 2. So for function A, I figured out and solved that my slope was 2. And for function B, we said that my slope was 5. So for this problem, then I'd have to pick and choose the right statement. So I would say that function B has a greater slope than function A. I hope that helped. Please continue to email us when you have questions. Send a message to us on Google Classroom when you have a question. We'd be happy to help. Good luck.